The call over to Rick and Carol so they can introduce our next gen first presentation today, please.
Thank you. Um, I'm going to announce first, before I do Alex's little intro, I want to just mention him and Samantha, my daughter-in-law, and our grand dog Thor, who's on the call today. So we're so excited. And obviously, Mama Carol. So uh, the next generation of master networks is right here, folks. Alex Gabrielly has been the go-to tech guy for so many people over the years and has always taken pride in bringing his own personal touch to IT support. He loves helping others, and it brings him joy to help make people's lives easier and lend a hand whenever and wherever he can. Today, he's going to speak to you about how and why he decided to use his passion to start his own business, All Good Technology Services. Alex, the floor is yours.
Thank you all so much. Um, I think so. I joined with two accounts or two computers. Whoever is host, can you give AGTS sharing as well, please?
And I will also, let's see.
Spotlight.
I don't
Please.
see how you, oh, you got it. Okay. Can I
It's
make that a
done.
spotlight? Can I spotlight AGTS, Alex?
Sure.
Let's see. I don't think I can do that. You got it.
Everybody should see that now.
We do.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So my name's Alex. My wife, Sam.
I muted you by mistake, Alex. Unmute.
My name's Alex. I'm the founder and CEO of All Good Technology Services, where my goal is to make friendly tech help easy. I have with me my beautiful wife of almost 2 years and my corgi of almost 6. So they're hanging out. More about them. This is my life. I spend a lot of time with Sam and with Thor. I also love listening to music and technology and science and math and stuff like that. And I'm a bit just a geek. Additionally, people always ask me, why technology? So what you see here is where I'm sitting right now on the left, which is my workstation. That's my computer, more computers, some server stuff. There's a 3D printer there, which I spent a lot of time tinkering with. My favorite story on how I built this and started to love technology is for as long as I can remember, I've always had access to a computer. I once was tinkering with my dad's laptop in a diaper, and there's a picture somewhere. We'll never find it, but there's somewhere. There's one somewhere. Um, from being dropped off at grandma's for mom and dad's date night and taking apart a computer and putting it back together, and however long I was there for, I could occupy myself endlessly with technology or a problem to solve or something to fix or tinker with. So that was very early on before I, could make sense of it, which led into, obviously, for someone my age and, hobby area, which is gaming. Spent a lot of time on a Game Boy and, computers and Xboxes and stuff. So it was only the next logical step to end up working on computers. So, I, out in the professional world, did a lot of customer service was my first, real job. But I very quickly understood that speaking with the tech guys and the big scary IT people in their cave was something I enjoyed and everybody else didn't. So I was that translation layer between tech and not tech, which is a big thing. So I was able to make my pivot my career into IT in my 9 to 5, which I have done for the last 9 years at this point. Um, so when you have customer service background and IT and technology, interest, um, it's only logical that every friend and family and um, you know everybody says, oh, "Can you do? Oh, I have this laptop that doesn't work." Of course, and it brings me so much joy and excitement to be able to fix stuff and you know um, make things better and easier, which is a big thing. People hate technology when it doesn't work, and I like making technology work. Um, so after you know 6 years in IT purely professionally, 9 to 5, I decided to start my own business, which brings us here to All Good Technology Services, where that customer service focus, um, personality, and the ability to work intimately with people met my ability and knack for technology across the board. Anywhere from, you know, my phone isn't, working to, how do I use this app? And my computer is running slow and email isn't working. And, you know, a lot of stuff these days in smart homes is super technical and, doesn't work well. I love it. I've done smart home stuff. I've done home security stuff. I've done, uh, you know, phones, laptops, computers, um, all the way up to small businesses. And, my newest hobby myself is trying to find a way to disconnect from all cloud services, iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, and host everything myself for no monthly cost. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to get all my pictures in one place so you don't have to search through 75 thumb drives and external hard drives for one picture of me in a diaper. So that's my newest drive. It's what I enjoy doing night to night after a long day at work. It recharges my batteries and it makes life easier for people because not everyone has the interest. And that's why I like to do it because I see the value. I see that the value is there for other people, and it's fun. Um, fixing is not just when things are broken, but improving before they're broken to prevent that downtime and frustration that everyone is always dealing with when things don't work. Um, you know, everything is connected to the internet these days, which means the internet is very important. And everything that connects to it has to work well with it. So if it doesn't do that, nobody's going to have a good day. So that's my, you know, goal here, trying to make life easier and be a trusted advisor to people that are not so comfortable with the technology of the world. That's me.
Alex, you have 1 more minute.
Thank you so much. That's perfect timing because I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to spread friendly tech help, make it easy. And I want to, if we have time for like a question or two.
I don't know that we have time for questions, Alex, but in this format, but this was awesome. And I don't want to cut you off. I don't know if there's something else you wanted to mention.
Let's look at this.
Everybody, please reach out to Alex for a face-to-face and more importantly, for tech help. I could definitely vouch for his friendliness and patience and his knowledge was way off the charts. I'm tech challenged. I was ready to give up. And Alex came and saved me. So he definitely is in the right space. So please reach out to him.
Thank you so much.
All good. Got it. So we're going to move to I'm, by the way, filling in for Whitney today, in case you're wondering why I'm talking. Whitney is our showcase director. I'm stepping up. We're going to move to our next showcase, which is the fabulous Miss Karen Mays. Karen is our resident behavior change and mindset coach, and she's also a happiness expert. Coach Karen loves helping people experience health and happiness differently. Karen, the floor is yours. If somebody could spotlight her and probably give her screen sharing if she needs it, that'd be great.
Would you, I don't need screen sharing, but can you please spotlight Jen Faye Colombo? She's my Q&A partner today.
Aha.
I didn't hear who, Karen?
Jen Faye Colombo?
Okay, let me find Jen. There she is. Hi, Jen. Got you. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen, for doing this with me today.
You're welcome. Happy to. So Karen, what even got you interested in why people do or don't do things, and where did this whole focus come from?
Yeah. So what I wanted the title today, which I didn't share before, is why we do the things we do and don't do the things we should. And so about 10 years ago, I was in the middle of my own health journey, and I remember feeling two things at the same time. I was excited and I was terrified. And I didn't quite know what would come next for me. And my coach recommended a book called The Willpower Instinct, and I read that, devoured it, and that began a whole new journey of exploration where I started reading personal development books all the time and examining what was really happening under the hood in this process of change. And somewhere in there, I realized that all this overthinking that I've done my whole life, it wasn't actually a problem. I could use it as a superpower because I couldn't stop trying to figure it out and why we do what we do and don't do those things that we should. And then as I started coaching, I realized that the way I was able to articulate these concepts really seemed to land with people, and it was helping. And I thought, okay, this is something. And that's really where it started.
So your business has actually changed recently. Can you tell us what's new with real life health and happiness?
Yeah. So
Sorry.
for many years, I've been associated with a particular program, which has changed my life and changed some lives in this room. And it's a really powerful tool for so many people, and that's going to continue as to be part of my professional picture. And I also find myself having bigger conversations with people about boundaries, about emotional coping and emotional eating, and values, priorities. And because we know the real work isn't knowing, it's implementing. And when things don't go perfectly, which they never do, it becomes about iterating, trying again, adjusting, figuring out what works without falling into that pit of discouragement. And what I kept finding was that through that process of implementation and iteration with support, people could slowly blossom into consistency. And that's the real transformation. So I have really launched Real Life Health and Happiness to reflect that fuller picture. It's not one thing, it's coaching that walks people through the whole messy, beautiful process until consistency isn't something that you're chasing, it's just what you are.
Love that. The whole messy process. Okay, so the title of your talk today, why do we not do the things we should? What's actually going on there?
So I love this question. And the answer is it comes in a lot of different flavors and varieties. There's inertia where we're, pretty solid where we are and staying there is just kind of easier. There's fear of failure, fear of it being hard, fear of it actually working sometimes, and then what that might mean. And then for some people, there's a little rebel living inside them, and the rebel does not like being told what to do, even by themselves. So when we can learn to speak to the rebel in a language that it understands, that can start to break down. For some people, the resistance is about not wanting to disturb anyone else. Like, my husband and kids won't like it if I stop buying chips and queso, or to keep Oreos in the house. It's for the children. So, it comes in a lot of different ways. But the sense of achievement that comes from someone noticing is another one, and that's compliments, recognition, maybe even just feeling accepted by others. Uh, and in all of those cases, the motivator to change or the motivator to stay the same is coming from the outside, and external fuel runs out. The real shifts start happening when we connect with our personal values and strengths, and we start living in alignment with what we actually want. And that's when it stops being a struggle, and it turns into internal motivation. And that's really the journey I walk with people.
Mm. All right, you started talking about motivation, which is great into the next question, because a lot of coaches talk about motivation, and you said motivation's kind of unreliable. What do you mean by that? And can you expand on what you were just previously talking about?
Yeah, it built on, yeah, like what I was just saying, motivation as we tend to think of it, it's like you just can't count on it, right? It's like that cousin that most of us have that we love. They're so much fun. They're the life of the party, and they swear they're going to show up, and then they don't. And so we learn over time that we can't count on that cousin. If they come, it's great, but we got to be okay either way. And so you can't build your life on feeling motivated all the time. That's not a character flaw, it's just Tuesday. So what do you do instead? You find fuel that actually lasts. And that's the part that starts to surprise people, I think. And this is where happiness come in. It's not just a reward for crossing the finish line. It's not I'll be happy when. It's now. It's finding it now in the middle of the journey before you get there. Because when you have that, when you're not running on empty and white knuckling it through every hard day, that's when change becomes sustainable. From I'll be happy when to I'm happy now, and that's keeping me going. That's what lasts.
Mm. So you started talking about happiness and how that all starts to fit in. Where does that fit in? And because it's in your brand name, what's the connection and how can you what do you want to
Yeah.
expand on that topic?
I think when people hear happiness coach, they probably think I'm going to show up with a list of affirmations and a glitter cannon, which are fun tools. I'm not opposed to them, but that's not really what it's about. Because here's the thing that a lot of people have wrong about happiness. They think it's the opposite of hard, or they think it's the opposite of struggling, or it's happy, or I'm having a hard time, or I'm grieving, or I'm going through something. And that actually isn't true. Happiness is not at odds with those things. You can be in the middle of a really hard season and still access a genuine sense of peace and well-being. You can still find moments of joy and feel connected to something that matters. That's not denial. It's not toxic positivity. It's actually what happiness is, in my opinion. It's not a permanent state of everything is fine, or denial, putting on rose-colored glasses, but it's a really deep inner source that you can draw from even when things aren't fine. And when people feel depleted, they're white knuckling it, they don't sustain. And not because they don't want to, not because they're unmotivated, but because they have no fuel. And so happiness and health, for me, they're not two separate conversations. They're really the same thing, same conversation anyway.
And what does it look like when somebody works with you?
Well, it really just starts with a conversation. There's not a boilerplate approach, except that we explore, and there's no pressure. And we have a conversation about what matters to them. What's the change that they're looking for? The work is really part coaching, part accountability, part behavior design, and it happens one-on-one, usually virtually over Zoom or the phone. And then we look at what specifically is causing the gap between intention and action for that person. We do create meaningful goals, and then behaviors that are going to lead to those goals.
All right, Karen, 1 more minute.
Thank you. So it's not about handing someone a plan and then saying, good luck, and I'll hold you accountable next time. It's really walking with the person through that fear and resistance.
Awesome. So who should be sending people your way? Like, who's your person?
My person is probably someone who knows a lot, has listened to a lot, has been told a lot about what to do. They're great at starting, but they keep stopping. And maybe they've never really felt truly seen and heard. in all the wisdom that's out there. And so they get a few days or a few weeks in and they lose focus, they fall off and they feel terrible. Or maybe they're dealing with something health related like stress, weight, energy, sleep, and they know that behavior change is part of the process that they need to go through. And so that person is really for me. And also anyone who might be working with a therapist, a doctor, a dietitian. I compliment the work they're doing there beautifully because I'm focused on the doing, not so much the knowing. So really, a lot of times those people are saying, I know what I should do, I just can't seem to do it. So that's my person.
Um,
That is it. I think we're at time. Thanks, Nicole.
yes, that is
Thank you, Jen.
awesome. Thank you so much, Karen, and thank you, Jen, for being the interviewer. That was terrific. I encourage everybody to please reach out to Karen. There was some really deep, meaningful information in there. So with that said, we're gonna go back to you, Liz, for our finale.
All righty. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Karen and Alex. We are so blessed to have you both as part of this family. Those were amazing presentations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And which leads us to our last segment, which is our thank yous and testimonials. We have an opportunity to express gratitude and share something that somebody did for you or with you, and it's a beautiful part of our meeting. So just raise your virtual hand, and I see the Gabrielli's hand up, or hands.
Thank you, Lizzie. I want to thank Alex, Sam, and Thor. We've been benefiting from them and their tech help for years, and we're so excited that now the world gets a chance to do it. I want to thank Karen for helping me lose 52 pounds, and this version of me, not only physically, but emotionally, has a lot to do with Karen's guidance. So the two showcases today were especially powerful for me and us. And I also want to thank Andy Akers, who believes in what we're doing at the Renaissance Retiree Club and has sent 3 people to us this week. Andy, thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I want to say something.
Oh,
I just want to say, Karen, that was a great showcase. I really, some mind-blowing inspiration for me. Thank you. And Alex and Sam and Thor. I'm so excited to watch you, and it gives me a glimpse into Alex, who you are in the world as an adult in your business. That makes me so proud and happy. And we know that behind every great man is a wonderful woman and supportive. And Sam, you go above and beyond for the man in your life, and we're so lucky to share life with you. And Thor, we love you too.
Alex, just remember you got pushed down the rung a few, okay? You're never going to win an argument, especially if you go to your mother and you've been fighting with your wife. It's over. Anyway, first off, I want to thank Nicole. My numbers are getting better and better. I mean, what can I say? I finally did a very, very intelligent thing. I hired Jen Mullen to automate and organize my life. Okay. And I know that it's almost like I got a second wife because she's now the boss. So I thank you very much. And, I really appreciate this group. And Yuval, thank you for your insights.
Beautiful, Scott. Thank you so much. Carolee had me crying, which I love. Good, happy cheers. And all right, let's move on to Karen Mays and Jen.
Well, thank you, Rick and Carol, for the love. That's so appreciated, and love you guys, and hope to see you tomorrow. Alex, great showcase. I love hearing, more about what makes people tick, and you did such a great job of letting us all know that. And in addition to the member guests who came here today, thank you so much. I want to thank Pat and of course Jen for being my Q&A partner. I threw a curveball this week, and I was like, I know you can do it, and it won't be like this huge stressful thing for you. Can you do this for me? She was like, sure, no problem. So thank you so much, Jen. And you should all reach out to her for a one-to-one. She's an amazing artist, and so many other things.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. Yeah, Jen, thank you for doing that. And any visitors who are here today, if you want to stay for a few minutes after after school. We can answer any questions you might have about Master Networks. And please put your information in the chat so that we can connect with you as well, please. All righty. Jen, please, and then Nicole.
So, Scott, I said this to you earlier this week. I think you're going to be one of my favorite clients to work with, and I'm just really so excited to get you settled and structured and then on the way up. So thank you for taking a chance on me. Joey, I am so excited for our little girls weekend, which is in the middle of next week, but I'm very excited to come down and hang out with you for a full 24 hours. Everyone in our chapter, thank you for your patience with me as I work through some of the tech stuff in the new app. As part of when I was a beta tester, my challenge was to go out and break the system. They wanted me to break it, and I really think I did. So I've submitted a ton of tickets. Your names, you're getting notifications all the time of when I'm playing around with stuff. So just thank you for your patience with me in working through that stuff and trying to figure it out. And then the last thing, I just want to remind everybody again, now with this new app, training is changing. So this chapter is so much more directed based on you and your feedback for training. So I'm going to put the link to the Google form that I created again for you guys to tell me what you want in training. So that way I can bring you what you want and need. So please, 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 like, fill that out. Again, it's anonymous. I won't know who said what, but it'll help me be able to direct and guide your trainings from here on out. So thank you.
Jen, you go above and beyond the Call of Duty. It's a really, you're so generous with it. So thank you. And thank you for having my back last week when we were on the road, and Rick. And again, I'm going to be having my retreat next Friday, so I will not be here. Jen is going to lead you through our meeting next week, and I'll see you the following week. I'm going to miss you guys very much tomorrow too. Nicole, you're up.
So thanks. So first I want to thank Scott for trusting me with his health. I really appreciate when people trust me because I know that there's a lot of trust involved with acupuncture. I also want to, I know I mentioned something about Alex, but he really did. You guys know I'm a little bit tech challenged, and I got a new phone, and my favorite app wasn't transferring the info, and I was going berserk, and I was ready to go back to my old, I didn't know what I was going to do. And Alex was so patient, and he really knows his stuff. Seriously, he's patient. I mean, yeah, he's friendly, but you need patience for this stuff. And I was like ready to give up, and he was like, no, we got this. And he totally figured it out and fixed it. Thank you, Alex. If you have tech problems or you know someone like me who's tech challenged, you got to send them to Alex. And I also want to remind everybody tomorrow, oh my gosh, it's here already. Billy Joe's 5 to 8 in Newburgh. I'll see you guys there.
Thanks, Nicole. What a beautiful edification of Alex. That was awesome. Alex, please, and then AB.
I just want to thank everyone for giving me your attention. That was awesome. I was nervous, but I was excited, as Sam can attest. I also would like to thank Sam for her touch in my presentation because she was very involved, which made me very happy. So I want to thank everyone for their very kind words. It's really a great time. So that's it.
I love that, Alex. Hi, beautiful Sam. Good to see you, sweetie. All righty, Avi, go ahead.
Always great seeing you both. I want to thank all the visitors for coming today. And I especially want to thank the people that invited the visitors to come to see our family. This is truly family. We have people all over the country that I see, and I just have a warm place in my heart. I see Joe and Dee. Whenever I see JoJo, people are just all over the country. And craziness. I get to see Jim Newhouse in Texas, not in New York, but in Texas. So it's really, really cool. And we have the opportunity to see each other live. Take advantage of it. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening this week, so that it will be great. These Zoom boxes are amazing, but when you get together live, everyone looks better. They just do.
As well as we have Yuval in Israel, so we're global here as well.
We are Yuval. It's
we
always
are.
great to see Yuval.
Always great to see Yuval. Everybody. All right, Jim, you want to go ahead? Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I was going to say, I just want to say, and then I realized I had no mic. But I can use my voice. AB, it was so great hanging with you in Dallas. Really, really great meeting. And again, guys, I can't tell you enough. Take advantage of all of the resources available in Master Networks. There's a lot there, but it's all good. But again, AB, I want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for helping my client who dropped the ball and her daughter lost her health insurance. And if you don't know this about health insurance in New York, if you have an individual plan and it gets canceled for any reason whatsoever, you can't get another policy until January, which it's like unimaginable, but that's what they did. So anyway, that's all I've got. Hope you guys have a great weekend and looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you so much, Jim. All righty, I think we are going to call our meeting. Thank you all for showing up. Go out there and just sprinkle some kindness on those that you encounter today, please, because you all get the rest of the day off.
Great job, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a great weekend.
Love
Bye,
to
everyone.
all.
Thanks, everyone.
Mwah.
Great presentations. Love you guys.
Great to see everybody.
Okay, weekend.
See you guys.
Baby Gabor, open the door. Come on now.